In a quiet village nestled in a valley, far from kingdoms and crowns, lived a boy named Aaron. Aaron's hands were small, not yet calloused by a plow or a blacksmith's hammer. His dreams, however, were vast. He dreamed of becoming a great warrior, to defend his people and to wield a shining blade like the heroes in the old tales. But dreams are not always welcomed. The villagers laughed. The village chief, a man with a booming voice and a scowl etched into his face, scoffed, "You are too small, too weak. A warrior's path is not for you. Go, help your mother with the chickens." His words were a heavy stone, and Aaron carried them every day. And so, every night, Aaron would sit alone under an ancient, gnarled tree at the edge of the forest. A tree whispered to hold secrets older than time. He would trace the swirling patterns of the bark, the sting of the villagers' words burning in his heart. The whisper of the old tree. One night, as moonlight bathed the branches, Aaron felt a shiver that had nothing to do with the cold. The air thickened, and a faint, silvery light seemed to pulse from the very heart of the tree. A voice as soft as rustling leaves, but as deep as the earth itself, spoke. "Little one, why do you seek strength in steel? A sword is only as strong as the heart that wields it." Aaron trembled, his breath catching in his throat. He had never told anyone about his dreams, yet the tree knew. "I am weak. I cannot protect anyone," he whispered, tears welling in his eyes. "I am just Aaron, the boy who helps with chickens." The tree sighed through its leaves, a sound like 1,000 whispers. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is daring to stand when all others kneel. Trust not your arm but your heart, for it is the truest sword you will ever own. Aaron did not fully understand. How could a heart, a feeling, be a weapon? Yet the voice was a balm to his wounded spirit. Night after night he returned, and the tree whispered the same truth, weaving it into the quiet fabric of his soul. The test of shadows. Then one fateful night, a low rumble echoed from the forest. It was a sound of splintering wood and gnashing teeth. Shadows poured from the tree line, creatures with burning eyes and claws that tore at the earth. Panic erupted. Warriors, men who once mocked Aaron, raised their blades, but fear cracked their courage. They stood frozen, their bodies unwilling to move. Families hid, voices cried out. Aaron's heart raced, a frantic drum against his ribs. He had no sword, no shield, only the echoes of the old tree within him. Courage is daring to stand when all others kneel. The creatures snarled, advancing on the first row of homes. Aaron saw his mother, her face pale with terror, clutching his younger sister. The memory of the village chief's words, of the villagers' laughter, faded into nothing. There was only one thing left, the whisper of the tree and the fire in his heart. Though his hands shook, Aaron stepped forward. The moment of courage, he didn't grab a sword. Instead, he snatched a torch from a nearby wall, its flame a single defiant point of light against the darkness. The villagers gasped. A small boy, no bigger than a shadow, stood before the beasts. No armor, no steel, only fire in his trembling hand. The lead creature, a hulking beast with a hide like rock, lunged forward. Aaron didn't run. He shouted with every breath in his chest, his voice cracking but resolute. "You will not take my home. You will not harm my people." And then something incredible happened. As Aaron's trembling voice echoed, a spark of resolve ignited in the hearts of the villagers. One by one, the fearful rose. The village chief, who once called Aaron weak, stood first, gripping his axe with a newfound grip. Farmers took up pitchforks, mothers raised stones, and warriors lifted their blades once more. Together, a wall of pitchforks, stones, and swords, they drove the shadows back into the forest. The true warrior. When the dawn broke, the village was safe, though scarred. The people, battered and exhausted, gathered in the central square, their eyes fixed on Aaron. They no longer saw the weak boy they once mocked, but the warrior who stood first. The village chief walked to Aaron, his head bowed. "You taught us a lesson tonight, boy," he said, his voice quiet. "We had the strength, but you had the courage to show us how to use it." Later, Aaron sat under the ancient tree, the first rays of the sun warming his face. The tree whispered softly, "Do you see now? A true warrior is not the strongest in body, but the bravest in heart." From that day on, Aaron carried no sword, but a spirit unshakable. He had dared to dream, not of being the mightiest, but of being the one who stands when standing matters most. Strength is not found in the blade you carry, but in the courage to believe in your dream.